There are things we carry within us that the world has no right to touch. In the quiet hours, we know these truths deeply. They are the strongholds of our inner lives. Yet how often do we reveal what should be protected? Like open flames left exposed to the wind, we leave pieces of ourselves vulnerable, subject to the whims and judgments of others. As followers of reason and inner fortitude, we understand the wisdom of restraint, the art of holding some things close, untouched by external noise. Let us walk together through 5 things that we must guard closely if we wish to hold peace in our lives. 1. Our fears. Our fears are the shadows cast by our minds, private specters that reveal our hidden anxieties and our deepest uncertainties. To share them openly is to invite others to not only see us at our most vulnerable, but also to give them the power to influence our perception of these fears. When we reveal what we fear, we make it easier for the world to reflect that fear back at us, magnified and distorted. Marcus Aurelius, in his wisdom, urged, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. In other words, fear is often a creation of our minds, given weight by our attention. The Stoic way is to recognize fear as an internal experience, something that is shaped and controlled by our own thoughts. Sharing it makes it no less real, rather, it can weaken our own control over it, turning our inner struggles into entertainment or judgment for others. True courage lies in quietly confronting these fears, not in exposing them to the world. Imagine a warrior standing on the battlefield of his mind, his fears, his only opponents. To expose these battles would be to invite distractions, to allow others to shake his resolve and question his strength. Fear is a deeply personal experience, one that only we can understand fully because we are the ones who give it life. When we openly share our fears, we risk letting them take root in ways that we cannot control, allowing others to label, judge, or define them for us. A Stoic knows that our inner life is a garden that requires careful tending, that some parts must remain untrampled by outside feet. Instead, we learn to transform fear from within. Epictetus reminds us we are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them. The power to overcome fear resides within our own mind, not in the reassurance of others. But to master fear is to keep it close, to observe it without letting it define us. We must understand that by facing it inwardly, we cultivate a quiet resilience that builds character. Let us hold our fears with a silent strength, choosing instead to show the world only the courage we cultivate in our struggle to overcome. In this way, we become the stewards of our fears, their guardians, and their conquerors, not by giving them to the world, but by mastering them within. 2. Our true intentions. Our true intentions are like the compass that guides us quietly through life. They are the genuine, unfiltered reasons behind our actions, the ambitions and motives that propel us forward. When we expose these intentions to the world, we invite a chorus of opinions, judgments, and potential criticisms that can cloud or distort our own clarity of purpose. There is strength in moving toward our goals without needing others to see, approve, or even understand them. In Stoicism, intentions are part of our inner citadel, a place where our authentic values and personal principles reside. To share them openly is to risk inviting others' expectations into our lives. These expectations can quickly become like weights, pulling us in directions that stray from our original path. Epictetus wisely advised, first say to yourself what you would be and then do what you have to do. This simple phrase holds a powerful truth. When we are firm in who we aim to be, we act without the need for applause or validation. Our actions and choices become self-sufficient, fueled by a purpose that does not rely on the opinions of others. When we speak too freely of our plans and ambitions, we risk diluting the strength behind them. Imagine planting a seed. The more you uproot it to show others its progress, the more you disturb its growth. True intentions, like seeds, grow best in quiet, unobserved soil. A Stoic knows that sharing plans prematurely can invite skepticism or envy, emotions that serve no purpose other than to weaken our resolve. We begin to second-guess, question, or shift our course based on feedback that might be uninformed or even misaligned with our personal vision. The wisdom of the Stoic approach lies in embracing intention as a silent, steady force. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one rather than broadcasting our aims. We find strength in simply embodying them." There is no need for others to know our every goal. Their perception does not alter our ability to work toward what we believe in. Instead, we become the quiet architects of our own lives, holding our purpose closely and walking the path we've chosen with steady, silent conviction. Letting intentions remain unspoken protects us from the unnecessary noise of the outside world. By keeping our plans close to the chest, we allow our actions to speak, letting the results of our efforts reveal our character over time. We follow a path that is guided by inner resolve, undisturbed by applause or criticism, and in doing so, we cultivate true autonomy. In this silence, we become our own guide, our own judge, and the only witness we need. 3. Our relationships. Our relationships are among the most profound parts of our lives, the threads that tie us to others in bonds of love, respect, and mutual growth. Yet, these connections are not for public display. In a world where so much is shared openly, it has become common to parade personal relationships as if they are spectacles meant to impress others. Stoicism teaches us the wisdom of discretion. True relationships gain their strength from quiet dedication, not from public validation. Seneca, a great Stoic philosopher, advised, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." This counsel encourages us to choose relationships wisely, aligning ourselves with those who help us grow, who challenge us in meaningful ways, and who support us on our path. These are bonds that should be carefully protected, kept safe from outside interference, and nurtured without the influence of others' opinions or scrutiny. When we share too much of our personal relationships, we risk exposing them to judgment, jealousy, and unnecessary opinions. Love and friendship, at their core, are intimate experiences created in moments of genuine connection that others cannot understand or replicate. By inviting the world into these private connections, we distort them, turning them from an expression of mutual respect into an exhibit for the world's consumption. Stoics understand that deep relationships are not defined by outward displays but by inner loyalty, patience, and quiet dedication. There is also a vulnerability in our relationships, an openness that exists only between trusted individuals. When we broadcast the details of our connections, we risk tarnishing that trust, allowing others to influence how we see and feel about our closest companions. Relationships are not immune to external pressures, and when we let others' voices enter this private space, it can create misunderstandings, doubts, and tension. Our relationships become muddled with outside expectations, overshadowing the genuine connection we sought in the first place. Epictetus warned of letting external forces disrupt our inner peace, reminding us to keep your attention focused entirely on what is truly your own concern. Our relationships, while shared with others, are deeply personal journeys. By safeguarding the details, by keeping the essence of our connections quiet and sacred, we protect them from the volatility of public opinion. We also maintain a certain purity, allowing our relationships to evolve naturally, free from the influence of social validation or comparison. Ultimately, relationships grow best in privacy. In the silent spaces away from the noise of the world, we can truly see each other and allow love and respect to flourish. The Stoic approach is to nurture relationships through understanding, not display through actions, not announcements. By doing so, we foster bonds that are resilient, bound by a shared purpose and respect, and fortified by the knowledge that they exist for us, not for the approval or entertainment of others. In embracing this quiet dedication, we honor the relationships that shape us, allowing them to thrive in their own time and in their own way, far from the transient gaze of the world. 4. Our flaws and mistakes. Our flaws and mistakes are part of what makes us human. They are our imperfections, our vulnerabilities, and the remnants of lessons we have yet to fully understand. While there can be value in acknowledging our shortcomings to ourselves, openly displaying them can make us unnecessarily vulnerable. Stoicism teaches us that self-improvement and growth are personal journeys, best undertaken with quiet resilience rather than with the exposure that comes from public admission. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake in any thought or action, I shall gladly change." I seek the truth, which never harmed anyone. The harm is to persist in one's own self-deception and ignorance. To the Stoics, mistakes are not weaknesses but opportunities for growth, learning, and self-discovery. Acknowledging them privately allows us to learn and move forward without letting the world define us by our past missteps. When we openly expose our flaws, we risk becoming trapped by the way others perceive them, as people often reduce us to our faults and fail to see our potential for change. There is a strength in quietly working to correct our flaws and learn from our mistakes. It takes patience, courage, and self-discipline to face ourselves honestly, to sit with our weaknesses without being swept away by shame or guilt. Epictetus teaches us to be our own critics, to measure ourselves not by what others think of us but by our own commitment to growth. He advises, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Rather than announcing our flaws and seeking validation for our struggles, we focus on embodying improvement and letting our actions quietly reveal our progress. Exposing our flaws publicly can lead to a dependency on external validation and forgiveness. When we seek comfort in others' reassurance, we give away the control over our own self-worth. Others' opinions become intertwined with our sense of self, and we risk viewing ourselves through their eyes instead of building the inner strength to grow independently. True Stoic growth is rooted in self-honesty and self-accountability, where we face our flaws in solitude and choose to improve for our own sake, not to satisfy or impress others. To err is human, but the Stoics' way is to treat each error as a private stepping stone toward wisdom. Seneca wisely observed, "The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today." When we cling to the hope of others' approval or wait for their forgiveness, we surrender the present moment, the immediate chance to reflect and improve. Instead, we keep our flaws within, recognizing them without letting them define us, and working on them without letting them control us. In embracing our flaws and mistakes privately, we cultivate resilience and a quiet confidence that is not shaken by others' opinions. We learn to value progress over perfection, understanding that growth happens gradually and often unseen. By holding our flaws close, we build a foundation of self-trust and self-respect, knowing that our worth is not dictated by our mistakes but by our dedication to moving beyond them. This is the Stoic way to acknowledge our humanity quietly, to rise stronger without display, and to let our actions be the quiet proof of our transformation. 5. Our inner battles. Our inner battles are the silent struggles that rage within us, conflicts of the mind and heart that we fight alone, often unseen and unknown by the world. These are the moments of doubt, the wrestlings with fear, anger, temptation, and sorrow. To share these struggles openly can dilute their meaning, exposing our rawest emotions to interpretations that can twist or undermine their true significance. Stoicism teaches that our inner battles are deeply personal, meant to be met with quiet strength and introspection rather than broadcast for sympathy or validation. Epictetus, a Stoic who knew hardship firsthand, once taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." To master oneself means to keep our inner conflicts contained, to work through them with resilience and determination. By confronting our own struggles privately, we cultivate a form of inner strength that cannot be granted by others but must be forged through solitude and perseverance. Stoicism encourages us to become the silent guardians of our own peace, to protect our inner lives from the noise and interference of the outside world. When we share our inner battles openly, we run the risk of diminishing our own control over them. Opinions, advice, and judgments from others, though often well-intentioned, can cloud our clarity and weaken our resolve. Instead of facing our struggles directly, we might find ourselves tempted to seek comfort in sympathy or external support, letting others' responses shape our sense of progress or failure. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength to preserve this strength." We must keep our inner battles within, treating them as sacred struggles that no one else can truly understand or resolve for us. Our inner battles are also places where we confront our deepest weaknesses and fears. This is a process of transformation, where we refine ourselves through introspection, holding our flaws up to the light of our own standards and values. In these moments, we learn patience, humility, and self-compassion, qualities that grow when nurtured quietly. Sharing these raw battles with others can often lead to misunderstandings, judgments, or even pity, none of which strengthen us. Seneca observed, "He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary." By keeping our battles to ourselves, we shield them from unnecessary drama or sensationalism, allowing us to face them with quiet resilience. Imagine the inner battles as fires that we tend in the solitude of our minds. To invite others into this space is to risk losing the intimate connection we have with our own growth. In struggling alone, we gain perspective, resilience, and a deeper understanding of ourselves. Each inner conflict faced alone becomes a private victory, a testament to our strength and commitment to self-mastery. In Stoicism, true mastery comes from within. It's not measured by how much we share or how well we perform our struggles for others. It's a quiet, steady journey of refining our character in the face of hardship, choosing to meet each inner conflict with self-discipline and courage. By keeping our inner battles private, we cultivate an unwavering self-sufficiency that is immune to external praise or criticism. We become our own source of strength, our own anchor, standing firm in the face of whatever arises within us. Ultimately, our inner battles are our own, sacred and untouchable. They are the crucibles that forge us into stronger, more resilient versions of ourselves. By facing them in solitude, we learn to trust our own strength, to draw on our own reserves, and to emerge with a deeper understanding of who we truly are. This quiet resilience, earned through struggle, is the essence of Stoic courage, the strength that is seen only by us yet felt in everything we do. For conclusion, fortify your fortress. What is precious within us needs no outside validation. The Stoics knew this well. When we hold our fears, intentions, relationships, mistakes, and inner battles close, we build a fortress of self-mastery, a place where external opinions have no entry. We cultivate the inner strength to move forward, unshaken by the noise of the world, in pursuit of wisdom, resilience, and peace. Let us take this journey inward, for that is where true fortitude lies. Each of us, walking the path of self-control and understanding, learns to carry these truths as a shield. We hold our silence not out of fear, but out of strength that no one else can bestow upon us. If this message resonated with you, if it stirred something deeper within, a call to strengthen your inner resilience and embrace true self-mastery, then join us on this journey. Like this video to support more content that challenges you to grow, to think, and to strive for more. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on any insights that can lead you toward a stronger, more stoic life. Together, we're building a community of people committed to self-control, wisdom, and inner strength. Hit the notification bell, and let's keep exploring these powerful principles. Thank you for being part of this journey with us.